Summary of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Chapter 1. A wealthy bachelor arrives in the countryside. In the serene Hertfordshire countryside, the Bennet family resides at Longbourn with their 5 daughters: Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Kitty, and Lydia. When Charles Bingley, a wealthy and eligible bachelor, leases Netherfield Park, Mrs. Bennet dreams of securing him as a husband for one of her girls. At a ball in Meryton, Bingley is captivated by Jane's gentle beauty, while Elizabeth, sharp-witted and spirited, overhears Fitzwilliam Darcy, Bingley's friend, dismiss her to Bingley. "She is tolerable, but not handsome enough to tempt me." The cutting remark wounds Elizabeth, igniting a deep prejudice against Darcy. This initial misunderstanding sets the stage for a clash between them, even as Jane and Bingley's budding romance promises a whirlwind of emotions ahead. Chapter 2. Affection and Prejudice Intertwined. Jane and Bingley grow ever closer, bringing joy to Longbourn, but Elizabeth's disdain for Darcy deepens as he exudes arrogance and aloofness. Enter George Wickham, a charming officer, who confides in Elizabeth that Darcy denied him a promised inheritance from Darcy's father, leaving him in hardship. Elizabeth, trusting Wickham's emotive tale, feels her contempt for Darcy solidify, blinded to the truth by his captivating words. Meanwhile, Darcy finds himself quietly drawn to Elizabeth's intelligence and natural grace, yet his pride restrains him from revealing his feelings. Elizabeth's prejudice intensifies, while Darcy wrestles with his reason, unwilling to admit the growing affection stirring within his heart. Chapter 3. Marriages Forged Without Love. Mr. Collins, a bumbling clergyman and Longbourn's heir, arrives to propose to Elizabeth, hoping to compensate the Bennet family. Elizabeth firmly declines, despite knowing her refusal jeopardizes their future. Soon after, her dear friend Charlotte Lucas accepts Collins' proposal for pragmatic reasons, leaving Elizabeth disillusioned. At the same time, Bingley abruptly departs Netherfield, leaving Jane heartbroken. Elizabeth suspects Darcy and Bingley's sisters orchestrated the separation, deeming Jane unworthy. This suspicion fuels her growing conflict with Darcy, a simmering tension ready to erupt, as her ideals of love collide with the harsh realities of society. Chapter 4. A First Proposal, a Clash of Pride. Visiting Charlotte in Hunsford, Elizabeth encounters Darcy again at Rosings, the estate of his aunt, Lady Catherine. One evening, Darcy stuns her with a proposal, but his words drip with arrogance, highlighting the class divide and disparaging her family. Deeply insulted, Elizabeth rejects him outright, accusing him of sabotaging Jane and Bingley's happiness and mistreating Wickham. The fierce confrontation leaves both wounded. Elizabeth stands firm in her dignity, while Darcy, rejected for the first time, departs with a shattered heart. Yet her rebuke forces him to confront his own arrogance, sparking a quiet transformation within him, as Elizabeth remains unaware of the complex emotions stirring beneath her resentment. Chapter 5. A Letter That Shatters Prejudice. The next day, Darcy hands Elizabeth a letter, explaining that he advised Bingley against Jane, fearing her feelings weren't genuine, and revealing Wickham's attempt to elope with Darcy's sister, Georgiana, for her fortune. Elizabeth is stunned, realizing her misjudgment. Reflecting on her family's behavior, she understands Darcy's reservations. Though ashamed of her hasty conclusions, she begins to respect him, empathizing with his motives. The once unyielding wall of prejudice starts to crumble, giving way to clarity. The letter not only unveils the truth, but also stirs conflicting emotions in Elizabeth, offering a fresh perspective on the man she once despised. Chapter 6. Pemberley, Where Hearts Begin to Align. Elizabeth, traveling with her aunt and Uncle Gardiner, visits Pemberley, Darcy's estate, believing him absent. She is awestruck by its harmonious beauty: lush gardens, shimmering lakes. The housekeeper praises Darcy as a generous, kind master and devoted brother to Georgiana. When Darcy unexpectedly returns, he greets them with warmth and sincerity, inviting the Gardiners to stay. His kindness stirs Elizabeth's heart. She sees a new Darcy, and a tender affection blooms, like sunlight breaking through the fog of prejudice. As she leaves Pemberley, Elizabeth realizes she loves him, though she dares not fully embrace it. Pemberley becomes a symbol of Darcy's purified soul, and her heart opens to new possibilities. Chapter 7. Scandal and a Silent Sacrifice. Lydia's elopement with Wickham plunges the Bennet family into a scandal, threatening their honor and the sisters' futures. Elizabeth despairs, fearing ruin. Unbeknownst to her, Darcy takes action, tracking Wickham to London, settling his debts, funding him, securing him a military post, and ensuring he marries Lydia to salvage the Bennet name. He does this all for Elizabeth, keeping his role hidden. When Elizabeth learns the truth from Mrs. Gardiner, she is overwhelmed with gratitude and remorse. She sees the depth of Darcy's love, his willingness to sacrifice for her. Her feelings for him deepen, transcending all prejudice, as his noble act not only saves her family, but also paves the way for their love. Chapter 8. Trust and a Defiant Stand Against Fate. Now transformed, Darcy urges Bingley to return to Netherfield. Bingley proposes to Jane, bringing elation to Longbourn. Jane accepts with joy, and the family revels in celebration, though Elizabeth's thoughts linger on Darcy. Lady Catherine, Darcy's aunt, arrives at Longbourn, demanding Elizabeth promise never to marry Darcy, as she intends him for her daughter. Elizabeth staunchly refuses, defending her autonomy. Darcy, learning of her defiance, sees her change of heart, rekindling his hope. Her resolve deepens his love. Their hearts draw closer, overcoming barriers of class and prejudice, poised to face the final challenges on their path to unity. Chapter 9. Love triumphs over all. Darcy visits Longbourn, proposing to Elizabeth again with humility and sincerity, acknowledging his past mistakes and affirming his unwavering love. Elizabeth, now certain of her heart, accepts with boundless joy. They reflect on the pride and prejudice that once divided them, their bond growing stronger through understanding. Their love is a journey of overcoming differences and trials, leading to mutual growth. Elizabeth and Darcy, alongside Jane and Bingley, wed in a radiant celebration, proving that true love can conquer all obstacles, ushering in a new beginning filled with happiness and harmony. Chapter 10. A Conclusion of True Happiness. Jane and Bingley settle near Pemberley, while Elizabeth and Darcy build a marriage rooted in love and understanding. Pemberley becomes their sanctuary, where Elizabeth, as Darcy's equal, helps him become his best self. The Bennets find peace, though Lydia and Wickham's unhappy. Debt-ridden life underscores the value of Elizabeth and Jane's genuine love. Lady Catherine eventually accepts Elizabeth, albeit distantly. Mr. Bennet visits Pemberley often, and Mrs. Bennet delights in her daughter's marriages. The novel closes with a timeless message. True love blossoms when we overcome prejudice and embrace others with a heart full of empathy and openness. Conclusion. Pride and Prejudice is a profound emotional journey, where Elizabeth and Darcy transcend their flaws and biases to find each other. Jane Austen vividly portrays 19th-century England, where class and marital pressures